Ten Commandments judge faces runoff in Alabama Senate race. Montgomery, Alabama. AP, Alabama's famed Ten Commandments judge, Roy Moore, has forced a Senate primary runoff with President-backed incumbent Senator Luther Strange, setting up a September showdown that could be closely watched for clues about Republicans' prospects in 2018 midterm elections. Moore has twice been stripped of Chief Justice duties for stands over the Ten Commandments and against gay marriage. He rode a tide of anti-Washington sentiment and his fame as an icon of the culture wars Tuesday to lead the first round of voting and secure a runoff spot in the contentious Republican race for the Senate seat previously held by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Moore and Strange will meet in a September 26 runoff. The winner will face Democratic nominee Doug Jones in a December election. Despite being buoyed by millions of dollars in advertising by a super political action committee tied to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Strange was unable to defeat the firebrand jurist. Senate race. Kim Chandler, Associated Press, August 16, 2017. Updated, August 16, 2017, 3:15 a.m. 0. Former Alabama Chief Justice Roy Moore and Senator Luther Strange have a runoff next month, following Tuesday's Republican primary. They are seeking the Republican nomination for the Senate seat previously held by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. August 16. Media, Associated Press. Montgomery, Alabama. AP, Alabama's famed Ten Commandments judge, Roy Moore, has forced a Senate primary runoff with President-backed incumbent Senator Luther Strange, setting up a September showdown that could be closely watched for clues about Republicans' prospects in 2018 midterm elections. Moore has twice been stripped of Chief Justice duties for stands over the Ten Commandments and against gay marriage. He rode a tide of anti-Washington sentiment and his fame as an icon of the culture wars Tuesday to lead the first round of voting and secure a runoff spot in the contentious Republican race for the Senate seat previously held by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Moore and Strange will meet in a September 26 runoff. The winner will face Democratic nominee Doug Jones in a December election. Despite being buoyed by millions of dollars in advertising by a super political action committee tied to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Strange was unable to defeat the firebrand jurist. Former Alabama Chief Justice and U.S. Senate candidate Roy Moore speaks to supporters, Tuesday, August 15, 2017, in Montgomery, Alabama. Moore, who took losing stands for the public display of the Ten Commandments and against gay marriage, forced a Senate primary runoff with Senator Luther Strange, an appointed incumbent backed by both President Donald Trump and heavy investment from establishment Republican forces. Photo, Bryn Anderson, AP, copyright 2017 The Associated Press. All rights reserved. Photo, Bryn Anderson, AP. Image 1 of 5. Former Alabama Chief Justice and U.S. Senate candidate Roy Moore speaks to supporters, Tuesday, August 15, 2017, in Montgomery, Alabama. Moore, who took losing stands for the public display of the Ten Commandments, Moore. This is a great victory. The attempt by the silk-stocking Washington elitists to control the vote of the people of Alabama has failed, Moore said at his victory party in downtown Montgomery, with a copy of the Ten Commandments among the decorations. The result was not unexpected after polls suggested Moore, with his loyal base, was leading a crowded GOP field in a summer special election where turnout was roughly half that of a normal primary. While President Donald Trump endorsed Strange, Moore tried to present himself as the better carrier of Trump's outsider appeal. There are probably a number of incumbents on both sides of the aisle who should take notice of another demonstration that voters still want change, said Greg Strimple, a Republican pollster for a political action committee aligned with House Speaker Paul Ryan. The takeaway is that Washington is very unpopular, Strimple said, and said Trump cannot simply transfer his brand to candidates who fail to establish their own outsider credentials. Strange emphasized his Trump endorsement, delivered first via Twitter and then in recorded phone calls to Alabama voters, in the state where Trump remains deeply popular among GOP voters. He knows I'm the person in this race who is going to help him make this country great again, Strange said. Strange said the race boiled down to who is best suited to stand with the people of this country, with our president, to make sure we make America great again. Trump and McConnell had found themselves allies in the Republican race. The Senate Leadership Fund, which has ties to McConnell and spent millions to try to clear a path for Strange, on Tuesday called Strange President Trump's #1 ally in this race and predicted Trump's support will be decisive as we head into the next phase of the campaign. Strange, the state's former attorney general, was appointed to the seat in February under Governor Robert Bentley, who soon resigned in scandal that bled over to Strange. Strange said he did Bentley no favors, but his challengers questioned the ethics of seeking the appointment while investigating the governor. Moore's stands have won him a loyal following among the state's evangelical voters, but he is a polarizing figure in his own state where his harshest critics have derided him as the Ayatollah of Alabama, accusing him of intertwining his personal religious beliefs and judicial responsibilities. Alabama's Judicial Discipline Panel removed Moore as Chief Justice in 2003 for disobeying a federal judge's order to remove a boulder-sized Ten Commandments monument from the state courthouse. After his re-election, he was permanently suspended last year after telling probate judges they remained under a state court order to deny marriage licenses to gay couples. Throughout the race, Moore wore his ousters from the bench as something of a badge of honor, telling Republican voters in the blood-red state that they are keen to battle scars for standing up for what he believes. In the rural community of Galanting, northeast Alabama, Jimmy Wright, 41, showed up early Tuesday to vote for Moore. "He's the only one who hasn't been talking crap about the others," Wright said. Trump's support for Strange didn't matter to him, he said. In Montgomery, retired teacher Tommy Goggins said he turned out specifically to try to keep Moore from winning. "He's been kicked out of everything he's done." On the Democratic side, a former U.S. attorney under the Clinton administration, Jones was backed by former Vice President Joe Biden and some other National Party figures. He is perhaps best known for leading the prosecution of 2 Klansmen for the 1963 bombing of a Birmingham church that killed 4 little girls. Although Alabama has not been represented by a Democrat in the U.S. Senate in 20 years, Jones has said Democrats must not concede the seat without a fight. "I think there are enough people in the state who are yearning for new leadership and a change," Jones said.
I think the president's role will be very important in my campaign because we've got people in Alabama anyway have voted to support the president and his agenda. They want to see concrete conservative things done that affect their lives. The president has that agenda, and he could have chosen anyone, as I said in my remarks, and he picked me to help him get that done.
It's time to get up and start getting busy to bring about real change in our country. We need change in our health care. We need to repeal Obamacare. That's very simple. We need to border security yesterday. These comments about, well, it's going to take us a year, it's going to take us 2 years, that could be stopped within 1 week if we commit the military to do what they've done before under the Posse Comitatus Act and support the Border Patrol.
I wasn't honestly able to watch everything because I've been kind of busy today, but we've condemned, the president has, I certainly have condemned the racist violence in Charlottesville. You can't do, as a former attorney general, I hope they put everybody under the jail there. I'm glad to see Jeff Sessions taking very strong, decisive action from the federal level, and state and local officials as well. So my prayers are with the victims of that horrible domestic terrorist event.
We need to go back to recognition that God's hand is still on this country and on this campaign. Without God, we will never return to the greatness we were meant to have. We must be good again before we can be great.
The difference is pretty close to what we projected. You know, when you're the incumbent, you're always the target of everyone. Now it's a one-on-one race. I've been in runoffs before and done very well, so it'll be just a matter of telling people what the difference is between me and my opponent.